Afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's almost 12 o'clock. Eastern Standard Time is the 12. That's what kind of time I'm on today. So if you're in the West Coast and Central Time Zone, it is not 12 o'clock noon where you are. And I'm actually going to wait a few minutes to give a few people an opportunity to join. Good afternoon. Please drop a thumbs up or something in the chat to let me know that you can hear me and see me, please. Please. Good afternoon. Please give me a thumbs up, a heart, or something to let me know you all can hear me before I start. Let me check on my end. I don't see any comments. Can y'all hear me? Yes? No? I don't see any comments. Okay. Let's see. My comments, I mean, my comments may be a little bit delayed because my service isn't that great right now. But share this live, please. Especially if you're an EA, you really need to share this live because people don't a lot of times understand what an enrolled agent is or what an EA is. And it seems like everywhere I go, and they ask, well, what do you do? And I tell them, I'm an IRS enrolled agent. They really don't know what an IRS enrolled agent is. They don't understand the power. They don't understand the definition. They don't understand what we do. So I'm always educating people on what an EA is and what rights we have and why we should be the first people that tax professionals call when they're in tax trouble. Some people think that their tax professional is the first person to call. That is the first person to call if they are a licensed enrolled agent, a CPA that specializes in taxes, or if they're a tax attorney that specializes in taxes. Those are your first point of contacts if you are in tax trouble. Before I get into the topic, which is a very controversial topic, I'm controversial, so baby, I don't care. But I'm going to state facts, all facts today, no myths, facts against rumors, ignorant rumors at that. Some people be so loud and wrong, but I'm here to clear the air. And I'm here to dead all the noise and the misinformation and the lies about what an EA is and our rights because we do a lot more than representation. Um, and I just want to, I want to dead that today. So today is a funeral. Today is a funeral for all unlicensed tax professional people, even some people that work at the Internal Revenue Service. Surprisingly, they don't know what an enrolled agent is. So I'll give it about 2 more minutes. I'll allow the people time to join. I chose to do noon today because in Georgia, we have a lot of bad winter storms going on, and some people had to get their kids off of school a little late this morning. Or if you were like me and you do not want to play around with the ice, my baby is home from school. So, yeah, safety is always my main concern. So, my baby did not go to school today, and I did not go into the office today because I'm not playing around with those roads, and people don't know how to drive in Georgia. Anyway, so yeah, we're home. We're home. Good afternoon. If you're just joining, please share this live. If you are a tax professional that don't know what an enrolled agent is or our rights, or if you are an EA, you fully understand my frustration about the misinformation on enrolled agents. So let's have a funeral today to dead all of that. It's 12:04. I'm gonna start in one more minute. How was y'all weekend? How was your weekend? My weekend was amazing. I got a lot of rest this weekend. I actually had a sleepover with my nieces. So I got rest one day. The other days they TT'd me to death. TT, TT, TT. I love them so much. All right, it's 12:05. Let's get started. Today is the first official tax filing day, and I know that some tax professionals probably have an office full of people, or if you're working virtual, you probably have tax returns that you need to get filed. So let's get this show on the road, baby. Hold on, let me make sure I can see myself, and I want to be able to see you all's comments as well. So let me readjust my screen so I can see your comments. All right, so let me clear something up real quick because, and I'm gonna try to keep this as clean and cute and professional as possible. Because when people get online and they start downplaying and they start talking about enrolled agents, it offends me because why are you mad? Why are you mad? There are some small-minded people that are out here spreading misinformation about enrolled agents. They are downplaying it, like I said, and I don't think that they're misinformed at all. I think that people are uncomfortable with what they don't possess. Let's start there. So, when people are loud and wrong, and y'all are loud and wrong, it's because they're watching a little bit too closely. So people, I have followers and people follow me, and I even see people at certain events, and they say, I know you from Facebook, whatever. So stop watching me and what I do, and start reading. Because just because I do representation, that does not mean that that's the only thing enrolled agents are licensed to do. So let's clear the air today with facts and not feelings. And I think it's a great starting point will be to start with the definition of an enrolled agent. So let's start with EA 101. 101, for those that don't know, is where you start in college with your courses. Before you go to more advanced courses, you have to start with 101. So for those that don't know what what an EA is, an EA is an enrolled agent. EA is short for enrolled agent, and we are America's tax experts. That's not a name that we made up. If you are an enrolled agent and you are a member of NAEA, then you know where America's tax experts stem from. So an EA is the only federally authorized practitioner who specializes in taxation. We're the only ones that specialize in taxations. We are just like tax attorneys and CPAs, certified public accountants. If you don't know what a CPA is, we have unlimited representation rights to represent taxpayers before the Internal Revenue Service. Unlike a tax attorney and the CPA, we are federally licensed. Unlike a CPA and a tax attorney and the tax professional, we specialize in taxation. So unless you are not a tax attorney, if you're a regular tax attorney, they don't specialize in taxation. If you're not a CPA that specializes in taxation, then I don't think you should call that CPA if they don't specialize in taxation, because I have CPA friends and they have shared with me that it is this much information about taxes on the CPA exam. So they probably don't know a whole lot about taxation. When you think of CPAs, well, when I think of CPAs, I think of people that keep books. I don't keep books. And that's why I have referral partners that does that. and I'm not afraid to miss out on money. My main concern is always my client's value. Who can add my client value? That's why I have referral partners. I know how to stay in my lane. Okay, I don't do preparation at all. I don't do bookkeeping at all. Not because I can't, because I don't want to, and that's not my lane. So, lie number one. You have to have your client to negotiate with you if you are an enrolled agent. That's a lie. Y'all, a taxpayer advocate told me in a meeting that I needed to have my client with me. I had to actually pull up the Internal Revenue Service's website and show him and explain to him and teach him what an enrolled agent is. And I told him, you must got me mixed. You must got us EAs mixed up with a regular tax professional that's unlicensed or don't have the AF, the annual filing season certificate. Because they do have limited rights. And sometimes the client has to be with them, and that client, their name has to be on that client's tax return. But that's not us. So I had to end up teaching a taxpayer, an actual taxpayer advocate, what an enrolled agent is. By the end of my conversation, all the advocates that were in the room, they was like, well, we might need to become enrolled agents. And I was like, well, you probably, all you probably have to do is fill out a form, because if you work with the Internal Revenue Service for so many years, when you leave, you can become an enrolled agent. And from my understanding, you have to have been in a certain position, but I don't research that deep because it's not interesting to me. I've never worked for them. I'm licensed through testing. A second lie is all EAs can do is representation. That's false. That's completely false. And that statement alone, that tells me that that person has never really sat down and had the chance to read IRS regulations, and they don't understand tax law or Circular 230. Representation is not all we do. Representation is all I do, but that's not what our enrolled agents are licensed to do. Stop watching me. So, a list of just about everything that licensed enrolled agents can actually do. So let me go to this list I pulled up. So let's start with an EA is federally licensed by the Internal Revenue Service. That is not a certificate that you buy online. That is not a credential that is self-proclaimed, certified. No, it's a federal license. It's not a fake honorary doctorate degree that some of y'all go to the corner store and buy for $25,000. No, it ain't fake. We don't pay for a designation. We pay to take the exam, but we don't pay for a title. That's not what we do. We have a real license. It is the highest credential awarded by the IRS. I'm not going to let y'all downplay enrolled agents because we work hard for this designation. I'm not going to let y'all downplay it. If you say anything about an EA, I'm going to take offense to it because I'm an EA. So be careful what you say online because I'm coming to our defense. We can, and a lot of us still do and choose to prepare tax returns for any taxpayer. Whether it's the individual, a corporation, partnerships, estates, trusts, there are no limits to the tax returns that enrolled agents prepare. Now, I know some of you that aren't licensed don't understand corporations and partnerships and estates and trusts because your mind don't go that far yet, because all you are focused on, because you're unlicensed, is Schedule C's. You run a Schedule C tax return business. There are more to preparation. Once you become an enrolled agent, you'll understand that. Enrolled agents also does tax planning and advisory. And I'm not saying just filling out a form is saying that I'm going to save you this amount of money on your taxes. No, tax planning starts before the year starts. Right now, if you are a corporation or any type of business, you should be meeting with a professional tax planner about your business. You should not be meeting with them trying to save money on your taxes while you're filing your taxes. No, you should be planning right now for next year. You should be planning right now on what you're going to do this year to save money on your taxes next year. A lot of those tax preparers don't know that though. Not my fault. All right. What else we do? Yes, we do representation. That's what I do. That's all I do. We can represent individuals. We represent partnerships. We represent corporations, estates, trusts, any entity with the tax reporting requirement before the Internal Revenue Service. We do that. Again, that's not all we do. We can do it, and we can do it on all levels, whether it's an audit, collections, appeals, and that includes tax professionals and due diligence audits. I can't for the life of me understand why a tax preparer would want to represent themselves in the due diligence audit, but here we are. I recommend you getting a tax attorney or an enrolled agent that specializes in due diligence. I don't do due diligence. So if you call me for a due diligence audit, I'm going to refer you to someone that specializes in that, because I don't do that. If it's not about collections, liens, levies, payroll tax, I'm not the person to call, and I'm not afraid to share that with you. And again, I'm not afraid to refer you to someone that specializes in it, but I will not refer you to someone that is not licensed, because if they're not licensed, they cannot represent you in a due diligence audit. Feel how you want to feel, say what you want to say. Law is law. What else we do? We negotiate with the IRS. And this is what I was trying to explain to the taxpayer advocate that told me that I needed to have my client with me. No, I don't. I negotiate on behalf of my client all the time. We negotiate payment plans. We negotiate offer and compromise, penalty abatements. We do it all. And we, as enrolled agents, regardless of what people might tell you, we can speak and negotiate it with the Internal Revenue Service Counsel. I negotiate with counsel all the time. So when I hear other tax attorneys and when I hear other professionals in the tax industry tell me, oh, you need to refer that to a tax attorney or United States Tax Corporate Practitioner. No, I don't. I know when to step aside. And you better believe that I already have my COVEL agreement on file. If you're not licensed, you probably don't know what a COVEL agreement is. And that brings me to my next point. One thing I really love about being an enrolled agent is our conversations are privileged with our clients. If you're not licensed, your conversations are not privileged. Boo. Okay. We have nationwide authority. That means that, like I was saying earlier, we're not tied to a state. We can practice in all states. We don't have any geographic restrictions to handle audits, appeals, payroll tax cases. When we pull transcripts, we pull them legally. We don't log into our client's portal to get transcripts because we are licensed. We don't have to try to work around the system to help our clients. We don't have to do that. We stop liens, we stop levies, we stop wage garnishments. We do it all, baby. I'm not gonna let y'all keep downplaying enrolled agents because we the best. Okay. So let me see if I got any questions or comments before I keep moving. Hey y'all. Hi Tamika, good morning. Well, good afternoon. Hey George, add your 2 cents, brother, please. Because what they not finna do is get on these folks' internet and downplay enrolled agents. They just ain't finna do it. Hey Latasha. Hi Shamika. Okay, I don't see any question. I just see all great comments. So let's be very honest about people who downplay the EA credentials that they don't have. Don't downplay it because you ain't got it. Join us. If they say if you can't beat them, join them. Eva. Hey, Eva. How you doing? Hey, Renee. Our newest EA. Woo! happy for you, girl. Every time I see you on one of your posts, I just be saying, "Go Renee, go Renee." I love to see y'all new EAs. Latasha, hey, I am still working on getting mine and not stopping. You better not stop. Do not stop. Do not stop, because you are limiting what you can do in the tax industry, and you don't have to do representation. You can do whatever you want to do. Just don't sit on your hands and not pass that exam. All right, so let's talk about what unlicensed preparers cannot do, because there's misinformation about what unlicensed preparers can do. I'm gonna tell you what y'all can't do. You cannot represent clients in an audit unless your name is on that tax return. And you're still limited on how far you can go with that audit. That audit stops at the correspondence revenue agent level. You cannot talk to a revenue officer. I don't care what these people tell y'all on Beyonce Internet. A revenue officer is not going to talk to you if you are not licensed. I know, because I tried it before I became licensed. Trust me, I tried everything under the moon before I became licensed, because I wanted to help my clients, but there was only so much that I could do. And that's why I became licensed. You cannot negotiate tax debt. I'm sorry, but you can't do that. You're not licensed. You cannot help your client when things go left. You're going to have to send them somewhere else. When the IRS come knocking at their door, if a revenue officer comes to your client house right now, what can you do besides refer them to a tax attorney, a CPA, or an enrolled agent? You can't do nothing. Oh Lord, here comes LaShonda talking about something that's not true. I've been in business 20 years. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. You cannot represent. You are in violation of Circular 230. Go read it, boo. Next. Latasha Solomon Campbell. Tell the haters, come to the EA boot camp, then they will understand. Yeah, they won't understand it, because you can only speak on what you know, on the level that you know. And so we're not going to go back and forth with people that aren't licensed about what we can and can't do. What we're going to do is we're going to follow Circular 230. Be it as they may. All right, let me see. What else? What was I talking about before the live started on my feed, baby? Christy was not true. Girl, I guess she's saying that if you're not licensed, you can do representation. That's the only thing she can be agreeing with, but she's telling a lie. And she's in violation, and anybody else that's trying to do representation are in violation of Circular 230, because unless you have the annual filing season certificate, and you're still limited again on what you can do. Read Circular 230. Okay, so let's talk about the unlicensed reality check. Let's talk about the reality check. Here's why I want all unlicensed tax professionals to become licensed, because you are where I was, and I was capped. My income was capped. The things that I could do was capped. My authority was capped. And honestly, my clients didn't know, but the client trust was capped, because if a revenue officer show up at my client's business and try to shut them down, there wasn't anything that I could do about it before I came licensed, besides refer them to a licensed enrolled agent, CPA, or a tax attorney. You are capped. If you're unlicensed, you're creating a problem that you can't fix. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you are filing a tax return, but let's say the return is flagged for an audit, and the audit turns into, let's say just the audit turns into this big collection case, $200,000. and then it's assigned a revenue officer. Again, I cannot help my client when they're assigned a revenue officer. I don't care what these folks on the internet tell you to sell their courses, to make you buy their courses when you're unlicensed. But baby, I'm here to tell you, you cannot represent a client if you're not a licensed enrolled agent. Okay? You cannot negotiate with IRS counsel if you're not licensed. They're not going to speak with you. They're not going to speak with you. All right, so this spring we are launching our enroll agent. It's not a boot camp anymore. It is a 8-month comprehensive exam. This March, we're going to still do our free master classes, just in case there are people that want to test the waters to see if becoming an enrolled agent is something that they really want to do. That's your chance. Only thing it's going to cost you is your time and dedication. I do recommend that you show up. Don't have any distractions, and be on your computer. Don't try to do this on your phone. Let me see if I got any questions. I said you can assist and make some money. LaShonda, I said the same thing, baby. Go back and review the beginning of the live. But again, there's only so much you can do if you're not licensed. And baby, I'm definitely not going to go back and forth with somebody that's not licensed about what you can and can't do. Because again, if you're trying to do representation, and that's another thing, representation is not the same as tax resolution, and that's what a lot of unlicensed people don't understand. So again, if you are trying to represent a client before the IRS and you're not a licensed enrolled agent, your rights are limited. Any more questions or comments? Let me block this good, because child, what you ain't fit to do is get on here and spread these damn lies to my people. Yep. Hey Kiki, how you doing, boo? Let me get this skeleton off my live. Hold on, y'all. Any questions about enrolled agents, representation, and tax resolution? Because clearly people don't know the difference. But I broke it down for you, baby. Go back and watch the live. Watch the full live. Watch the full live. Please watch the full live. There's lots of missing information going on and lots of lies going on, and I ain't having it. Dr. Destiny, we can assist clients all day long. What are you assisting the client? What are you speaking on, Dr. Destiny? Can you be more specific on what you're talking about, dear? Because I see you just joined the live at 12:27, and we started at noon. So I'm trying to determine what you're talking about. I'll give you time to make a post on what you're a comment on what you're talking about, assisting clients. There's all kinds of ways all people can do to assist clients. Be a little bit more specific on what you're talking about, darling. Dr. Destiny, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to state what you're talking about so I can address your comment. Because you did miss the whole live. Uh, Dr. Destiny, you still with us there? I guess Dr. Destiny left the chat because I don't see a response on her comment. Does anyone see her response? I don't see it. I want to make sure I address your comment before we log off today. I'm put them all up. I just see comments on shit that I ain't even spoke on. That's what I see. Comments. I didn't speak on what EAs know after the exam. Girl, find you something safe to do, LaShonda, please, because this ain't it, sis. I promise you, this ain't it. This is not it. I spoke on none of that. And everything I spoke was facts. If you don't like it, go read Circular 230. Or are you trying to sell that course, child? What you doing? What's the goal here? Are you trying to sell the course? Because nobody talked about anything about after the exam. What are you trying to do, honey? How do I block this girl? Let me see. I ain't never had to block nobody. But she about to get blocked today. Coming over here talking about shit that I ain't even spoke on. Girl, bye. F around and find out today. How do I block this girl off my Facebook? Somebody. How do I block? Where do you go to block people? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Girl, no. There you go. That's what we ain't about to do. Maybe you will F around and find out. You got the right one, baby. Okay, so Dr. Destiny never spoke on what she was talking about. So unless anyone else have any questions, Chrissy, LaShonda, what's not true? Girl, LaShonda was just on here trying to sell a course, honey. Don't pay her no mind, please. She's not licensed and she don't know what the hell she's talking about. She need to go read Circular 230. I see block. I found the block. Why would you assume that we don't know resolution if we took the time to pursue the designation? It's offensive. It's offensive. Girl, listen. What did I say earlier? What did I start my live with? People are uncomfortable with what they don't possess. And what we're not going to do is go back and forth with someone that's not licensed because they don't know half the things that we know. Okay? We're gonna put that energy somewhere else. not someone that's not licensed or can't get licensed. That's what we not gonna do. Hey, Dr. Cosette. You have passed 2 parts. You got one more part to go. Girl, I can't wait to see those letters behind your name. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Congratulations again. Shamika, thank you for the great information. You're welcome, Shamika. I can't wait to see those letters behind your name either. Um, I'll just bring these comments, y'all. Okay. Well, I don't see any more. Let's see. In the mix stage, yes, you are. Karen says some people make it a lifestyle to masquerade around as who they are. Not. It's a sickness. It is a sickness, Karen, and we have to laugh at some people and their sicknesses. And that's all I do is shake my head and laugh because you're talking about something that I haven't even spoke on. So state the real reason why you on my live. Dr. Cosette says she's studying now. Ooh, I remember those days. Like I had to remove all the distractions. I had to focus on one thing, and that was passing that exam. Everything else is gonna be there when you're done. Your focus right now is to get those letters behind your name so you can have unlimited representation rights that so many people are mad about. Yes, they are. What is the cost to take your program? It depends on the part that you purchase. I will drop a link right here, and you can go online to get all details. It's www.irseaexam.com. That's for you. Where she went? I can't find your name, but whoever. Oh, Christy. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. I just dropped the link in the chat, Christy. Carmen. Hey, Carmen, girl. What them eyes for, honey? Oh, ain't that going on? Same hate, different day, baby. Same hate, different day. I don't know why they be hating on EAs, child. I don't know. If you want to become an EA, just say that. And if you can't, just say that too. But don't sit around and downplay our credentials and our knowledge and our expertise. That's what y'all not gonna do. What you are gonna do is F around and find out. Okay, I don't see any more comments. I had to block my first person today. How about that? I learned how to block today. Those weren't my plan. But you gonna up around and find out. Mess around with me. All right. Well, y'all have an amazing Monday if you're in Georgia or if you're on the South, because in the South, the weather is crazy everywhere in the South. So if you're in the South, stay safe, please. If your lights and your power is out, I'm sending my prayers to you all, not praying that Georgia Power or whatever your power company is restores your power ASAP, because it is too cold to be home or work without any power. Stay safe on those roads, y'all, please. I am not going outside of my house today because people in Georgia cannot drive in the rain, and I'm not going to trust them to drive in the snow. So y'all stay safe. If those jobs are requiring y'all to come in and you have no option, please drive safely. All right, y'all. I will see you all tomorrow, and my time will resume at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. All right. Stay safe out there. Have an amazing Monday and happy tax season. Peace.